gotta stop watching that video.
You gotta stop watching that video.
I'm not watching a video.
Well, then it's a good thing you stopped, isn't it?
You're a good thing I stopped. Stop.
Would you stop messing with my stuff?
No, you stop. It's
No,
our stuff, dear.
You want that? You want that
No,
tape?
Not at all.
Exactly. That's my
Stop
stuff.
pushing me around.
What do you mean? I'm using my armrest. Come back.
No.
Come back, armrest.
I'm not your armrest.
No, your storage.
Oh my God,
This
shut
is
up.
armrest. Look.
Fuck.
Look.
Leave me alone.
Just watch. Calm down and look. You go like this. Now I have armrest.
Oh my God, I don't want to be your armrest.
I'm not talking about you. Your storage.
Lord have mercy.
Does he control my storage? Why are we talking to the Lord?
This is a podcast. We're not talking to anybody but each other.
I'm glad you threw that end part in there. Like, all right, fine, I'll talk to me.
I didn't know if that sounds strange.
But each other. The Lord has no place in my heart anymore.
No, oh my God, it's like that one time in high school when your Spanish teacher was like, leave room for Jesus while we were hugging.
Who?
Your Spanish teacher?
Which one?
I don't know their
two of
name.
them.
But I think it was like junior year. And we were like hugging outside of your class, downstairs in the right hallway.
Oh, thank God. Now you've mentioned the hallway. Let me go right back there in my
I don't know the room
mind.
numbers, but like, like the bottom section.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm picturing it in my head. Yep, that's a hallway.
And then their classroom was on the
there
corner.
were kids there too, right?
Shut up.
Walls. They had walls in the hallway.
Their classroom was on the corner.
Their classroom was on the corner.
I just don't know their name because I didn't take Spanish in high school.
Yeah, I had corner classroom hallway Spanish, so.
But we were hugging and they were like, leave room for Jesus. And we were like, okay, no. Weirdo.
Why is that weird?
Because, I mean, we only need room for each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Joke's on them because we're married now.
Yeah, do the intro, married lady.
Well, this is Mindless Prattle. I'm Ripley, that's Jordon. I'm the prettier one.
Debatable.
And today we're going to be talking about stuff and things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I learned some fun facts.
Okay.
Stop that. It's so annoying.
Stop what? What are you talking about? Are you okay, ma'am?
No. You're bothering my eyes.
Got it. Now what?
Okay, so did you know if you give an octopus LSD, they become really friendly and they'll hug each other because they're normally very solitary?
Yeah, I learned that in hallway Spanish.
Guess how they learned that?
Was it peanut butter sandwiches?
They gave a bunch of octopi LSD.
Oh, I was so close. Thank goodness you specified.
Yeah, and then when it's the color changing ones, if they have LSD, they start like rapidly shifting colors.
The color changing ones.
Yeah, have you ever seen those?
Yes.
I don't know the names of them.
Oh, the ones that are like the ones that are able to use camouflage. That
Yeah.
one. Color changing. I did see that video. I think we talked about it. That woman's like, "Oh, you have such a pretty octopus. Pick it up." And then it's like her filming her daughter picking up a blue ring octopus. And you're like,
Yeah.
Your kid's gonna die. Put that down.
But okay, so apparently their ability to rapidly change color and blend into their surroundings is called camouflaging, but octopi.
Do you remember seconds ago when I said the ones that can
Hold on.
camouflage? I'm so good at this.
But it says why. Like there's over 300 species of octopus, and oh my God, this is so many words. I'm trying to like skim through it. But
What are
there's a
you
lot.
trying? What information are you
Okay.
trying to find right now? Why they can change colors so they don't get eaten? That's why. That's the reason.
Okay,
They're blending in.
So they have chromatophores, which are tiny color-changing organs that are dotted throughout their skin. So that's why they have like little dots all over themselves.
Okay, that is what changes the colors. I thought you were looking
No.
for why they change colors,
That was what
like
I was-
so they don't die.
Yeah, I was
That's
trying to figure
why.
out like how does it happen. But then this fucking article just wanted you to keep reading it, so it was like, and here's why, and then it was go to the next part and it would be like something irrelevant, like when you're on a cooking recipe website and they give you their whole life backstory before letting you look at the fucking recipe.
Yeah,
It was like that.
Nowadays, if I have a recipe that I'm looking for and I find like 4 online, it doesn't matter the reviews. It doesn't matter like the pictures if it looks good. What matters is if I click on it and there's a little button that says jump to recipe, I'll use that recipe. If it doesn't, I'm closing out of your website and I'm going to a different recipe. That's it.
I just
'Cause
use
I'm
the
not
cookbook.
I'm not scrolling through a life story for it, like you
Oh,
said.
speaking of ads, did you see they apparently in Windows 11 they show you ads in the start menu? Is that a thing that yours does?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Windows 10. My computer can't upgrade to Windows 11. It lacks the required hardware.
Are you talking about it like as a bad thing or like what are you trying to
A
go
bad thing,
for?
like they're
Okay,
putting ads
so
in start menus. So Windows 10 does not do that, but apparently Microsoft is pushing an update to all Windows 10 users that forces them to see ads now.
all right. Now it sounds like the worst thing, but it's like an ad that's like the size of I don't know. It's like an inch by 3 inches in the bottom corner. That's just like, have you seen this? Like that's all it is.
That's
And as
how it
soon as you click on
starts.
it, you're like, all right, cool.
That's how it starts, and then
It's no
eventually you're
different
in
than
a world
you.
like the Outer Worlds.
It's no different than you having a widget on there that shows you an article from Wikipedia or a picture of the day with a quote of the day. Like it's the same thing to me. As long as you click past it, it doesn't bother me. Like it's just words on the screen that I skip past
Okay,
and then put
but
in my
not
password.
everybody is as intelligent as you are, and
Well,
like
intelligence has nothing to do with it. I'm just trying to get into my computer. Do you turn on your computer and stare at the start screen and be like, "Oh, that's what time it is"? No, you click enter and then you put in your password and get on with your computer.
I just feel like we shouldn't have to see ads on a computer we already have paid for and that we own.
You don't own the operating system. That's completely different. You own the hardware. You can do whatever you want with that, but there's that agreement when you turn on the computer that says, "Here's our terms of use for Microsoft for using Windows." And in there is their terms of use. It's their software. The only people in the world that have the right to change that software is China because they bought the software.
What?
Yeah, you don't know that?
No.
Every Microsoft like computer that's running off of a Windows whatever Windows, it is owned by Microsoft and they're the only ones with the source code except for China. China bought the source code and then so they changed it. So China's the only like entity that has their own Windows source code.
Jesus.
So they can do whatever they want with it and that's what they use to spy on people more than
Yeah.
likely.
I wish I
In
wish I could
China.
use Linux, but I don't know anything about installing it or doing it because I know like a lot of coders use it and we just use it for my coding class.
Why do you need to use it?
I just think that Windows is kind of annoying sometimes. But
It's
I've used
kind
it
of
for so
annoying
long.
sometimes. You put up with a lot of annoying things though, so
Apparently. Hey.
it's fine. Hey, so what?
Did you know that crocodiles can gallop like horses?
Yes, it's very frightening.
I don't
Have
want
you
to see
seen
it. No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
You
I
should
just saw
see
that
it.
online earlier and I was like, what the fuck?
You should see it. It's
And I
pretty
pictured an alligator going. You know, I've probably
That's
seen
what
it when I was a
does.
kid. I assume Steve Irwin might have shown it.
Steve Irwin
Our
might
Lord
have
and Savior,
shown it.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah. Same thing with hippos. Hippos can run for up to 40 miles an hour.
Hippos are like really dangerous, aren't they?
Hippos kill more people than every year than sharks do. It's crazy.
That's because sharks don't give a shit if you're in the ocean. They just want you to stay away from their specific little part of the ocean. If they
No,
smell blood,
most
then
sharks are friendly. Even when they're like hunting, they'll be hunting fish because they hunt things that are smaller than them or that can fit in their mouth easily.
they're just like giant puppies, giant sea puppies.
I'm not gonna go that far because they have lots of teeth and they try and eat things
So do
a lot.
dogs.
But not as much as sharks. What sharks have hundreds of teeth?
Yeah, and
Dogs
they've been,
have like 20.
you know, sharks have been the same design for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So,
Close. It's been millions, but
Yeah.
very close.
like, thousands to the 10th degree.
Very few species haven't changed. It's like alligators, crocodiles, sharks, and like jellyfish have not changed design in millions of years.
And jellyfish are like technically immortal.
Some of them are. Most of them are not.
Oh.
The immortal jellyfish is immortal. Most of them live very long times. Most other species, but like that's why they're washed up on shore. You find them dead.
Do you think?
No. Do you?
Sometimes.
Mm.
Usually, what's going on in my head at any given moment is like a stream of consciousness on the left, and then on the right side, it's just like a song playing the same lane on repeat. There's like two different tracks in my brain.
Where's the train at? Because it's not on either of those.
That's the OCD.
Oh, it's off to the side being polished still. We're like, any day now, we'll put that fifth wheel on.
Oh my god, I saw the cutest thing earlier. It was about this couple in Japan. They have this like restaurant, and it has a train.
It
Like
has a train.
it has
Where's the other half?
it has a diorama that a train goes through in Japan, Osaka, and their business. Listen, their business.
Thank you for saying the country and then the
I forgot the name of it for a second, and then I was like, oh, it's Osaka, because I want to give credit where I can.
Yeah.
And their business was failing. They weren't doing very well because of COVID and stuff. And then they find a kitten outside their door, and they decide to take it in, even though it's expensive. And then after that, its mom showed up, and they were taking care of her. And then all of a sudden, she brought like a whole litter of kittens, the mama cat, because she trusted them now. And they decided to take care of all of them. And they posted a video online of the kittens playing with the train, and it went viral.
I did see the video of the train
restaurant.
with the cat, yeah.
And I just saw an article about the couple. They were like, we didn't know this act of kindness would like save our business. And then it's to the point where they added like an adoption part on top of the restaurant. And you can go and visit with the cats and adopt them if you want after having tea or something with them. But I just thought that was so cool.
Their website's fun because like half of it is in English. Interesting.
Right? Isn't that so cute? I love that.
Now the cat's just destroyed every day. Ah, yes. I love that.
I love cats.
You know how like you're in a game, right? And then
Currently?
you look up from possibly, and then you look up and you're like, oh wow, it's midnight and I haven't eaten since 3 p.m.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I should eat something. And you go over to the kitchen because you want food. And what?
Where's this going?
You know, why are you laughing ahead of time? And you want food and you open the pantry and you go, there's pasta. I could make that. It's ramen. And you start to turn and you walk towards where the pots are because you need one for ramen and other various noodle types. And then you decide it's too much. So you just make an immediate right turn and walk to the little cabinet where all the chips live. And you just eat a lot of Doritos.
Is this your way of telling me you ate all the Doritos?
And then you just sit there. By the way, you didn't turn any lights on in the kitchen. You're just sitting in the dark eating Doritos now. And you're sitting there going, why are these chips triangles? And
yeah.
So then you look it up. I found out why chips are triangle.
Did you eat all the Doritos?
Let's look at the triangleness of it first. I like this because the first there's two. There's
sure, but when I say a bunch of weird things.
There's two answers when I Googled it, right? The first one is the triangle-shaped chip was popularized by Rebecca Webb Carazana in the 1940s as a way to make use of misshapen tortillas rejected from the automatic tortilla manufacturing machine that she and her husband used to use at their tortilla factory in Los Angeles. That's great, right?
Is that the origin of tortilla chips?
I don't know. But I just wanted to know why they were triangles, and that gave me a good answer. And then I read down to the second answer. You know, you got to cross-read answers. Yeah. Make sure that they're all accurate. And the first one, I was like, this is great. Didn't even think anything of it. And then I read the second one, and I was like, this is way more scientific than I cared about chips. This is the second entry. The hyperbolic paraboloid shape, which is a double curvature, gives extra strength to thin chips, which is why they are shaped that way. What kind of a second answer is that, Google? I can't even pronounce some of those words.
Let me see.
Look, the hyperbolic paraboloid shape.
There's more to that word.
Blah, blah, blah. No.
That is interesting.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The shape is called hyperbolic paraboloids. Perfect for chips, apparently. And that's what I found out last night while eating chips in the dark for dinner at midnight.
You had dinner at midnight?
That was the beginning of the
Oh my
story. Keep up.
god.
And
And it was just chips?
no, I also had 2 cans of energy drinks.
Did you play
So,
video games all night?
until midnight, yeah.
Wait, does that mean you drank my other energy drink?
No, I bought 3 and now I'm down to 1. The math wise is I drank 2 yesterday, and so
You drank the blue raspberry that I was gonna have?
no, I did not. What are you talking about? You drink that. Uh-huh. There were 4.
No, 'cause we just
there
bought
were
another
4.
one.
No, there were 4, and then I bought 3 more that were none of them were that. Remember, I remember because I poured one into the glass. It was the citrus one. It was before you went to work. The second one was that cherry limeade one that I just finished. The third one in there is the sour lemonade one.
I could have sworn
You drank the blast blue raspberry one. I watched you do it. Mm-hmm.
I drank the green sour apple one.
Anyway, so this is to say there's room in the pantry for some reason. And I think the best choice would be limited edition Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Oreos, which I just found an
I don't
article
want zero
about.
sugar.
They also make regular ones too.
Oh, okay. I'd try that.
It's just
I'd try that. Why not?
Limited edition Coca-Cola Oreos.
Where can we get them?
I have no idea. I just saw the picture and I was like, that's a cool package. I want that.
Sometimes the flavors they come up with are really gross, frankly.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I would try that. We should get some.
I have no idea where to get those from.
Plus, you
But
probably
that'd
owe
be
me
funny.
food now since you ate the Doritos.
I don't owe you nothing, girl. What you think I owe you, huh?
Oreos.
Oh, really? I think you owe me half the rent then. How about that?
I can't afford that.
Uh-huh. I can't afford Oreos. How about that?
I got some cash. We can go get some Oreos.
Shut up. Please, sir, all I have is singles. Can I get the Coke Oreos?
Did you know
No.
that Coca-Cola helps you get blood stains out of things?
Yeah, Coke breaks down blood.
Isn't that interesting? So the next time you find yourself in a sticky situation, you can just apply some Coca-Cola to break down the blood.
Definitely not the best solution.
So you should clean with
It's-
Coca-Cola
No.
and then bleach
No.
and then rubbing alcohol.
No.
Why?
No. You
What?
should definitely start with hydrogen peroxide
Why?
because it actually breaks down blood,
How do you know that?
and then Coca-Cola will cleanse it further. And
Baking
then
soda.
And then you should wash the Coca-Cola out of your clothing or whatever you got blood stains on accidentally.
Yeah, accidentally. Which would have helped in the Battle of Megiddo.
What the fuck
Have
are you
you?
talking about?
Okay, I was like thinking,
What a transition that was.
What
I
is
was
one
thinking
of
that
the
too.
what is one like the oldest thing that we know of? And apparently
The oldest thing we know of.
which just
Your
like in
mom,
general,
alright?
I was like, what are the oldest things on Earth?
Your mom.
For some reason, it brought up the oldest battle known to man, and apparently, the Battle of Megiddo took place a really long ass time ago.
At least give us how many years. That's the important
my God.
part when talking about how long ago something was.
Okay, let me.
This coming from the woman who said sharks haven't changed in thousands of years.
Time is relative.
Yeah.
So it took place on April 16th, 1457 BC.
Okay.
It was fought between Egyptian forces under the command of Pharaoh Tutmosis. I'm sorry, I'm not Egyptian. I apologize to Africa. And a large rebellious coalition of Canaanite vassal states led by the king of Kadesh. It is the first battle to have been recorded in what is accepted as relatively reliable detail. So 10,000 people died in this battle, apparently. And then like 5,000 more were injured.
So I'm looking it up as well. Just to be on the safe side of things, it's just considered the first armed conflict to be recorded by eyewitnesses. It's
What?
definitely not the first armed conflict.
The other website lied to me.
It says human warfare at a cemetery site in Sudan has identified skeletons at mass graves of skeletons with spears and other violent deaths dating around 10,000 to 12,000 BCE. Several thousand years before that battle.
Well,
This
you
is
know
why
what?
we-
Cool fact.
This is why we peer review things. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's okay.
Mhm. Like this, when you find an eagle in a field and it's injured and you call the society to go, there's a bald eagle in this field, and it can't fly. And then scientists come over and they look at it and they go, nope, that bald eagle is just too fat to
How does an
fly.
eagle get fat?
I don't know, but this article reads bald eagle believed to be injured in Missouri was just too fat to fly, according to wildlife officials. Bald eagle was found along the boundary of national park. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I guess it had just eaten.
It was found healthy but engorged with a raccoon. It was too fat to fly.
Engorged. What a great term.
Look at the fucking thing.
Oh my god, that's like
It's
a whole.
huge
Like, did it
raccoon.
swallow this raccoon whole?
I guess.
Oh
my
wait, you know
gosh.
what? I actually think I remember that from like first or second grade science class. Like, I think it was owls, but owls will eat something whole and then they'll create like a little ball around it in their
On the
stomachs
bones,
and
yeah.
it dissolves everything. I wonder if eagles do that too.
I don't know.
That's probably why it's too fat.
That's why
It couldn't dissolve the bones yet because it ate a whole fucking raccoon.
Or it just ate them.
That's true. But
Oh, man.
yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then this week I played What Remains of Edith Finch. Kind of creepy game, I'm not gonna lie. Especially in the very beginning.
I said it wasn't like the story is really good. It's really good art style. The gameplay is nice. There's nothing too complicated about it. It's not too difficult. The puzzles in there weren't like super complicated. The music was very well done, but the story itself kind of dark.
Yeah, I thought you were saying it was like sad. Cause like it isn't quite sad. It's just disturbing.
Constant depression is what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
just
It's
like-
not sad. Yeah.
Like the first time you're like, oh, like this little baby died. And then you keep doing all the stories and you're like, oh my fucking god, is this family cursed? Like what the hell? Like
I told you
so
read the
many people
description
died.
though. The description was that you're recounting the story of the last remaining person in this family and why they're the last one left alive.
And then they weren't. It's been out for a long time.
Well, yeah.
What's the acceptable period of time before you talk about something? Before it like matters to give a spoiler?
Same age as sharks, I think.
No.
Oh.
Like, sorry, don't spoil Romeo and Juliet for me, bro. What? I really want to get sunken land.
My favorite pronunciation
Of what?
is Romeo and Juliet is in Futurama. You know
Yeah.
how like today people will find, stones or papers that are just old. They're like, this word was on here, and people are like, oh, it's pronounced thee or thy or whatever the fuck it was, right? It's fine. So
Sure.
we don't know how things are pronounced, not all of them.
Yeah, I just mean like it's
Anyway.
not just like that's how we decided it. Like there's historical precedent behind it.
Sure, but you can historically be wrong,
Okay.
just like anyway. So in Futurama, they're talking about things from the 20th century, and one of them is Romeo and Juliet, and they pronounce it all, or everything that they see from the past incorrectly. It's like they go, "Oh yeah, the death scene from Romeo and Julie T." He goes, "What? Yeah,
Julie T.
by Will I Am Shakespeare."
I don't remember that episode.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That sounds hilarious though.
It does me from Romeo and Julie T.
Like all the time I'll find myself saying a quote from Futurama though. And I'm like, oh, Jordan's in my head.
What quote?
I don't know, it just depends on the situation. Like I think about that quote by Bender, they're like, afterlife.
Go on.
I don't want to get it wrong.
What do you mean?
Like, doesn't he say like, if I thought I had to do this twice, I'd kill myself right now? I don't know specific
It's very
words.
close, yeah. No, they're talking about like him doing a right and wrong and like good and evil and whatnot, right? And they go, what do you plan for your afterlife? He goes, afterlife? If I thought I had to go through a whole nother life, I'd kill myself right now. One of the best ones is, I'm so embarrassed, I wished everyone else was dead.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm trying to see like when the newest season is out.
I don't know. I need to look. I know that one of my favorite quotes is from Fry, And it's just so like out of fucking left field, just out of nowhere because he almost never insults Leela ever. And then in the
Oh
one
yeah,
episode where
that
they're
one.
following tire tracks and the tire tracks clearly go right up to a garage door and Leela just goes, the tire tracks end here without a beat. Fry just goes, thanks, Eagle Eye. I'm like, what? You like never said anything
You
about
say that
it.
to me
Just
all the
I'm
time.
like, thanks, Eagle Eye.
Okay, so actually they're right in the middle of the new season. It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Um, the next episode is coming out September 2nd. So they're about halfway through the season.
Oh. Yeah, I'll have to look.
Yeah, if you want the ads plan, it's $8 a month.
I don't know.
And you can get a 30-day free trial, so
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
I bet we
oh
could
my
watch
gosh.
all the new episodes in 30 days.
I bet it'll be like one day, but yeah.
Well, because they're not all out yet.
That's why I'm not gonna get it yet.
Ah.
Someone's used logic.
Logic is for people with a brain.
You know how you're always complaining about The Sims?
Yeah.
Boy, do I have a game that I just stumbled upon that
Oh,
I
no.
think you should just. It's amazing.
What is it?
It's
Oh, Enzoy? I've seen
yeah.
people on Twitter or TikTok playing it. I don't know if I'd like it.
New game is like The Sims with realistic graphics. So here's its Steam page.
It creeps me out a little.
Look at these just wonderful screenshots though. Like, don't you just want to live a real life online and be in control of these people's lives?
I do kind of want to try it because it just feels like a life GTA, frankly.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Look at how that thing is huge.
But like, do you have to play online, or is it just
I have
is there
no
single
idea.
player? Like, does it cost money or?
It's not out yet.
Well, it's out, but it's not on Steam.
I don't believe you.
I guess you can just use the character studio.
Look, yeah. Like I'm saying, the character studio is available to download on Steam, but it's officially targeting a 2024 launch. It's not out yet. But yeah, you can get the character studio.
Maybe I should download it.
Yeah, try the character studio. It looks like.
Yeah, because I keep seeing people on TikTok playing it, but
Add
I
to
don't
your wish
know.
list.
I don't like it when The Sims looks too realistic. It's creepy.
What are you talking about? It's the same thing we're living through.
What do you mean?
We're in a simulation.
I mean,
Okay.
maybe.
It's not maybe. It's statistically probable.
Okay, do you think if we're in a simulation, like if we die, does that mean we wake up from the simulation?
No.
Like we're in real life?
Do your
Or,
Sims
like,
wake up in real life?
I
When
don't
you
know.
Kill them?
Maybe
No.
they have their own thing going on.
Nope. Yeah. Negative.
But I always play on long
Ooh.
lifespan, so hopefully whoever's simulating me does too.
Dude,
that
this
is
baby
interesting.
is wise and logical.
This baby looks better than the Twilight baby.
Entertainer, dude. This is the only screenshot I'm not a fan of so far, just because, like, look at the proportion of this baby's head. Look at how fucking
Yeah.
huge that baby is.
That was you as a kid.
I'm like, oh my god, no, maybe no.
That's
no.
what 10 pounds looks like.
That is not 10 pounds.
That's
What are
a
you talking
10-pound
about?
baby.
No, that is like 30. Look at that thing.
That's not 30
That thing's
pounds.
That thing's a chonker right there.
No, because
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be like 30 pounds in like first grade or some shit.
30 pounds in first grade? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Look at them chonky babies.
Yeah, at age 6, you should be about 36 to 60 pounds.
Right, and I said 30.
That would be a 5-year-old. That is not a 5-year-old.
He's big enough to be a 5-year-old.
No, he's not. That's like an
How do you know?
18-month-old.
Why is this screenshot number 40?
I don't
Is
know.
this some cat girl?
Cat lady. Ooh. Okay, yeah. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to download that shit. It's only available till like tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay, shit. Let me do that right now. Wait. Oh, do you mind?
Yes, I do mind.
Okay.
Oh my god, the character studio is 20 gigabytes.
What?
Yeah, look.
I wonder how much the game
20
would be. I wonder if
gigs.
my computer can even handle this shit.
I don't know.
Okay, so I've told you about Colleen Hoover before. Right?
Yeah, invented vacuums.
No.
What do you mean?
The lady
Hoover
who
vacuum
writes
cleaners.
the books that are kind of terrible, but are popular.
The vacuum cleaner lady? Yeah.
No,
What
that's
do you mean
Sarah J.
no?
Maas.
She writes vacuums?
No, in one of her books, like the main character like kills somebody and turns him into ash, and then she vacuums up his dead body.
Oh, good. She doesn't fuck vacuums.
Please don't fuck vacuums in general.
Yeah, do it in public.
But somebody on TikTok was reading a literal quote, and it's like, she could barely read it to the camera without laughing in the middle of it. But it's something like as he smeared the shit down my chest, I had like never been so turned on in my life. And like she just could not get through the whole sentence. Like she just kept like crying and laughing, you know, she's like and then she started over again. She's like, I'm sorry, this is just I can't believe this is a published sentence. And it's like a direct sentence from her book.
I love the guy who reads his girlfriend's like romance novels in different characters' voices. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You should do that for me.
He does like Kronk and like Elmo, and he's just reading like
Why don't you do that for me?
I don't read fast enough for you.
If it's speaking, it's different. Because you can read faster when you're talking out loud.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Why don't you just get faster?
We were just playing The Emperor's New Groove. I don't know if you noticed that. You remember that scene?
A little bit,
With the
not very
kids?
little.
The two kids are arguing. They're just like, nuh-uh, yeah, nuh-uh, yeah, nuh-uh, yeah.
I loved The Emperor's New School as a kid. Did you ever watch it?
New School. Oh, the
TV
show.
show.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Mostly because Bisexual Awakening, Melina, Hottie.
What are you talking about?
Cusco's just okay. Not for me.
I was going through Prime Video, which is like, I don't know how popular Prime Video is. I never
It's got
see
some pretty good scary movies.
It's got some good like original shows on there too. I just don't go through it a whole lot. But
now that we don't have Netflix, I'm like using it a lot more.
I was going through. They have a lot of random TV shows that are just. It was like recommended for you, and one of them was that old anime show from like 2005. It's called 16, but it was spelled with a 6 and then teen. Have you ever seen that? That show was super. It was just
like on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it was just 6
girl
teenagers.
With the black and green hair.
That hung out in the mall every day. Yeah, that was them.
I think that was a little bit above my age group, frankly, when I was watching it. So like some of the stuff I didn't get, but
yeah, I bet if you watched it now, there'd be a ton of jokes that you didn't get as a kid.
Yeah. God, I miss the original Teen Titans show.
I don't think I ever watched that.
It was so good. I loved Starfire. My sister really liked Raven. But they now just have like Teen Titans
It's like the animated ones, yeah, and they're like super small and like cartoony.
And they say some creepy shit. Like they were.
Yeah, it was more about like action back then. Now it's more about like friendship and fun times and yeah, it's like there's not a lot of villains in their show. Like I watched one episode where they were like their main like plot of the episode was that they were on like a dance competition show, and I'm like, is that what we need superheroes for, to win dance competitions? Like what?
I feel like there used to be an emotional depth to the show that like I don't know if they're just why they're dumbing down children's shows these days, but it's like
keep them interested.
There's a lot of stuff that like you can learn from things even if you don't understand it fully. Like kids pick up on things, and I just feel like the original Teen Titans, like Robin and Starfire were clearly wanting to date each other, but they had all these reasons why they couldn't, and like they were superheroes trying to save the world, and that wasn't their priority. And
the other lady was depressed.
The other lady was depressed as hell. And then Starfire also had the other issue of her sister being evil and like having to deal with that as a superhero. And just I think they dealt with a lot of things and explained things in a more kid-friendly way. And like nowadays they're just like, okay, distract your child.
No.
For dumb. But I've also heard teachers say that kids have gotten a lot worse.
Kids have gotten stupider, yeah. Like
not
in
even
classrooms,
just like smart-wise, but like behaviorally as well.
Too,
they're like,
yeah.
I've never dealt with so many children with discipline issues.
Yeah, discipline issues. Did you see the number of teachers going like reporting that their kids don't know how to comprehend like things that they read? They can't retain anything. At one point, some kid like read a paragraph, and then they asked him what happened in the paragraph. He's like, I don't know. We already done reading that. You're like, you didn't remember anything of what you just read?
No comprehension skills.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that's frightening.
And I just can't imagine that. Like, I know, like, not everybody's super fast at reading or whatever, but like, I think everybody's capable of learning to read, at least at a basic level. And my mom or my dad would read to us every night as a kid. And then as I got older, they'd make us read to them. And I know you don't read as much as I do, but like
I think kids can read. They have no interest in comprehending it because they're like, this is a dying form of media.
I think you have to teach people to love things. Like like
It's
the
not even
Magic
love.
Treehouse
You
books
don't
or
have
the
to teach people to love it. You just have to teach
well,
people to actually have a slight interest and be like, hey, this is worth your time to do.
and so much knowledge is power, but like if you teach kids to enjoy reading, like reading doesn't always have to be the things that you're disinterested in. Like you can enjoy, like my niece, for example, she really struggled with reading for a long time. Like she just found it difficult to keep her interest, but she got into graphic novels and then now she's reading like regular books as well. But like
Yeah,
they had to
yeah.
find something she was interested in first before she cared about it.
Yeah, I think that's like children's books need to be not like small children's books and like elementary school books need to have more pictures and visual things in it for kids, like the Magic Treehouse books
Hmm.
and things like that. And then you start to move to, wow, that's just paragraphs of words. And
Yeah.
and then the soul drains out of you when you get to college and they're like, here's a textbook, it's $200. At the end of the semester, memorize it. You're like, that's nice. Thanks for this.
That, you know what? That is part of one thing I'm really enjoying about my classes online is I've seen some people say they never get personalized feedback from professors and stuff, and that can't really happen with my stuff. Like they kind of have to give you feedback because it's writing.
Yeah, that is part of what I liked going to a private university is all my class sizes were about 30 people. So every single class I was in, I could just went and go and talk to the professor before or after
Hmm.
class. Like my largest class was the first year I went to a math class and it had 65 people in
Yeah.
it. And it was the easiest math class I'd ever taken, like easier than all of the high school classes I'd
Really?
taken. Yeah, it was super simple. And
My
it
freshman
was
year.
supposed to be like college something math, and I was like, okay. It was the simplest like math stuff. Like we got into like algebra. There was no trig, no geometry. It was like algebra. Like, all
Bro,
right.
my first year was supposed to be like basic college algebra, and
Mm-hmm.
I had a Chinese teacher, like he was from China, and he would get so pissed off at us if we couldn't do math in our heads in like a second.
Oh yeah.
Like he was
The
very angry.
basic math, doing it in your head is a high priority in a lot of other
Yeah.
countries
And
because it should be, I feel like,
And
it's
I've never been able to do that, like I have to either write things down or it'll take me a second. Like I remember in the fifth grade, this is gonna sound wild, but my teacher told us we weren't allowed to count on our fingers. Like she wanted us to count regular. And at that point in time, like I really struggled with math, like learning my times tables and all that sort of stuff. Like I remember crying every night, my mom helping me learn them. Like I've just always struggled with math. Um, and I had to work a lot harder at it to do stuff. So I had learned to do like this like sevens tricks and nines tricks and all that sort of stuff on my hands. And then my teacher banned us from doing that. And now I'm like, as an adult, I'm like, that's kind of ableist actually. Like I probably have a learning disability. But
sure.
because I would read numbers incorrectly too. And
No.
I've never been like, I don't think I'm dyslexic, but then I learned apparently there's a thing like that for math. And I'm like, that might be me because I really, it's not like I'm not trying. And then once I understood things and I would slow down and like take longer time, like I could do math very well, but it was very difficult.
Yeah.
So reading has always been fine. Letters, great.
There was a guy who sat next to me in that math class in college. I don't know how he got into the college. Maybe he just gave them too much money or something and they didn't correct it.
Why?
I don't know. But it was the math class that was super easy. We got back one of the tests and it was out of 100 standard test things, and they handed all the tests back upside down or something. Oh no, we had to go up to the front to get. I don't know, but they handed them back individually, right?
Mhm.
So I went over and I grabbed my test, sat down, whatever, looking at it, and I got 99, and I was like, cool. I missed one thing or something like that. I don't know. And the guy next to me, I wasn't particularly his friend. We just that class we had together, and the class right after that we had together. So, being that the campus wasn't very large, we had to walk down the same couple of paths to get to the next class. So he just ended up talking to me, and I'm like, all right, man. He ended up dropping out that year, but but he he was something special. He got back his test and he's like, "This is some bullshit." And I was like, "Why? What happened?" He goes, "Man, they're not teaching us how to do the math right, blah blah blah, this and that." He's giving me like excuses and he's getting mad, and I was like, "Uh huh." And he goes, Yeah, I think I need to find a tutor though for this stuff. I was like, yeah, why? And I don't know, I'm just not getting it, and this stuff sucks. And he gave me his test, and he got 9. He got 9 out of 100, and the test was really only out of 95 because you got 5 points for putting your name. So really, he got 4.
I was gonna say, I think the
I was
lowest
like,
score I ever got on math test
4.
was like a 33.
No, he got 4. He got 9 out of 100, but again, it was 5 point. Like it said +5 next to his name and next to everybody's name.
Were they like you had to do your work kind of tests or multiple choice?
It was probably a mix. I don't remember
Because I was
exactly.
like just by guessing on certain things, you should be able to get like a 15 even. You know, like
I don't know. No, it was more of a like here's the problem, solve it thing. But again, it was pretty basic math, especially for a college course. And he got he got he got 9. And he really got 4.
Hope you're doing
And
better now, bro.
and he's something. He got a few kids now and anyway. So he was also he was dumb and he was just not a great person. Like he would insult people and blah. It was a whole thing, right? And I didn't like him at all.
You can't be dumb and mean.
I
You gotta pick
shouldn't.
one.
Yeah, I shouldn't like him. So when he's like, "Hey, I need to find a tutor. What'd you do? How'd you do?" And I was like, "Ah, shit." So I was like, yeah, I did okay, but I don't really like this class, which I didn't. I didn't like the class. I didn't lie to him.
Yeah.
I did okay, and I didn't like the class. That's what I said to him, which was true. And
What did you get, like a 90?
Huh? No, I got like 95 or 99 or
So
something.
100%.
I don't know. But so that's why I just told him I did okay, and I didn't like the class that much. Both of those were true statements. And he's like, yeah, I gotta find somebody to help, and I was like, okay, man. He didn't make it through that semester of most of those classes. And he was actually trying to join the army and get the army to pay for college.
What was
And the
his
army
degree field supposed to
definitely.
be?
I never asked
'Cause I
him.
feel like-
I was not invested in his life that much to know. I knew he had 2 classes because I was in those 2 classes. Outside of that, he existed. I'm sure. I don't know.
I feel like I'm gonna sneeze.
Okay. Bah!
Why would you do that?
Well, you don't have to sneeze now, do you?
Okay. Well, take us out of here, Jordan.
Oh man.
I got Character
We
Studios
had-
to download.
Yeah, the second class we had together was actually an army class. He was in the army program with me.
How do you do poorly on that?
The army class is harder than the math class. Those classes are some of the hardest ones because because it wasn't textbooks you had to read for the army class. It was army doctrine and
Oh.
policies, which is literally just like 200 pages of like rules and regulations per document, and there are hundreds of documents that you just have to know. And then you have to be able to reference which one is which. It's a pain in the ass, but they want you to know which one's which so you can know where to look up an answer if you need it. But in order to do that, you have to read the whole thing. So they would assign. We only had the class Tuesdays and Thursdays. They would assign us like a policy per week. So between like Thursday and the following Tuesday, we had to read like 200 pages of policy. It was terrible. But we were in that class, and in that class they had some vans that were their government like the government plate vehicles, right? That the vans that we use to go to different events or whatever. Well, one of the vans, one of the belts was like one of the serpentine belts was loose, so it just needed to be tightened.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge deal. They're government vehicles. They're very easily like, hey, we're going to take it to the shop. The shop will fix it. Government will pay for it. It's crazy. Well, this guy interrupts class as we're discussing how we'll be using the van to get somewhere, and then someone said, "Oh, we can't use it this day. It needs to go to the shop for the belt. But we can use it the following day." Well, he interrupted that conversation and just goes, "Oh, don't worry, guys." And we're like, "What are we not worried about?" Because we weren't worried to begin with about anything, but okay. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, guys." We're like, "What?" He goes, "Oh, don't worry about the van. I'm a mechanic. I'll look at it." And we were like, no, it's contracted. We'll just take it to the shop." He goes, "Oh no, they'll overcharge this, that." Like, we're not paying for it. Like, what? It's a government contract. They fix it, and then we get the van back, and then we use it. He's like, "Well, I can take a look at it still." I'm like, And
We
then
said
the
no,
the
bro.
teacher, this was like a class discussion, and we're supposed to be like learning how to be, leaders of the army. So that a lot of times the teacher just wouldn't like do anything except
Mhm.
for say, "Here's the assignment, you guys go." But that day, the teacher was like, "Don't touch the van." She leaned over and was like, "Don't touch the van. Don't go near it. It's
She's
going to
like,
the
I
shop."
think I need to intervene on this one.
Yeah, she like interrupted him. We were like, "What are you talking about, dude?"
God, I kind
Fun
of feel bad
times.
for people like that because it's like they so badly want to help and be correct and like provide something, and it's like, no, just it'd be better if you just didn't.
We had one person. You remember Sam?
Hmm.
She transferred into that class. She was in the Air Force program, and then she transferred to Army. She got kicked out of the Air Force program for cursing. Yeah, and then she came over to Army, and like the first day, again, it was just the class talking, and there was
Hmm.
only like 12 of us plus the teacher in the room, and we were like, "Yeah, what made you change over?" And she told us that, and we are like, "Well, that's fucking stupid." And she's like, and she looked over at the professor, like they would say something, the professor's just over there like on her phone doing something, and we're like, "What? You can curse here, it's fine."
Yeah, Air Force seems
It's
like
crazy. It was just
kind of
rules and
clean cut.
regulations. Yeah, it was rules and regulations and this and that. Well, it's funny because that was our first day there, and we're like, "Oh yeah, we need a scribe for today. Do you mind doing it?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." So she went up
That sounds
to
so Brotherhood of Steel.
she went up to the board. It's the person that writes things down. It's not like that. So
I
she
know
went
what you
up
mean.
and grabbed a marker and started writing stuff on the board. Well, like halfway through, we're like, "Oh yeah, we got to get rid of that and that." So erase those, and she grabs the eraser and goes, and it doesn't come off. And we're like, "What?" And she's like, guys." And we're like, "What?" She goes, "This is a permanent marker." We're like, "How are you gonna transfer over here and break both our whiteboards on your first day?" And we had written like the whole boards were full, and we're like, "Ah." So we're like, "Okay, take a picture." So we took a picture of the boards because we still needed it for the lesson, and we're like, "Great." So then we just took turns taking hand sanitizer and wiping it on the boards, and like we had to spend the next like 30 minutes just wiping these boards clean
Damn.
of permanent marker. I was like,
Next
"Oh
time
boy."
you do that, ask if anybody has perfume.
Perfume?
Yeah, anything that's like liquid alcohol, and not just like hand sanitizer, but like pure alcohol.
Yeah, that's what we were using. Here's what we did. We got a bucket.
Oh boy.
We filled it up with halfway with water, and then we filled it with hand sanitizer to liquidize it, and then they put what's that, the rubbing alcohol in there
Hmm.
and mix that together. Lovely smell. Very small room. And then we would take paper towels and soak them and just wipe it off the board. But it was just smearing lots of stuff. So it was around site. Anyway, that's what happened for a while. So we did that.
Getting high off sanitizer.
It was fun. The professor, she's like, "Whew, smells like my morning coffee in here. I gotta go." And she walked out. And we were like, "What did she just say?" And she held up a mug, and it was like a thermos. And she goes, "My thermos isn't clear for a reason," and then kept walking. And we were like, "Okay, see you later."
Damn. Do you ever just think about how many people are like casually alcohol?
Casually, and that's how we spent that day.
I just mean like like someone who does stuff like that. They're like, oh yeah,
Mm.
that's how I start my day. Like,
Well, remember that not my it wasn't my ceremony at the end of that, but it was the one before ours, so the year before. So when I was a junior, we had a Christmas party. Was not great. And then the next morning, we had a Christmas party the day before we were supposed to go to this ceremony that started at 6 a.m. And we all showed up, and we were like in the ceremony, like we were hosting it,
mhm.
for people. And so we were like, "This is not going to go well." Like we had to like walk in like a professional manner and thing. No, it didn't go well. And most of us were hungover, and we're like, "This sucks." Like, holy shit. And then somebody came in. I think it was Sam. She goes, "Oh, don't worry, I brought everybody coffee." And we're like, "Oh, sweet." And she had these little coffees. I was from Dutch Bros or Starbucks or something. We grabbed it and we all started drinking it. We all took like a couple drinks of it, and then we looked over at her, and she goes, "Mm-hmm." And we're like, "These were like, did you pour
Hair of the
out?"
dog.
Like, "Did you pour out the other half of these, or did you drink them all?" She goes, "No, no, I poured them out." I'm like, "Okay." They were full when we got him, though. I was like, perfect. Do the
Ow,
outro.
motherfucker.
Wow, your mom's not even here. That's a rude thing to
That
say.
hurt.
It always hurts.
Spousal abuse.
Loving more. And
well, this has been an episode of Mindless Prattle. If you like what you heard, follow us, please. Leave a review. Talk to us. There's a little video voice thing. Jordon, stop it.
would you please do the outro?
You do the fucking outro.
I'm busy.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You guys don't understand how terrible he is. Okay, this has been Mindless Prattle. I'm Ripley. That's Jordon. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Oh shit! Did I hit record?
Fuck off.
What are you doing? Stop it.